Hey Guardians, welcome to episode 68 of Fireteam Chat. Destin Legary is missing, but I'm your host today, Fran Mirabella, here with my lovely co-host, Sean Finnegan. What's
Hello,
up?
How's it going?
And CJ Gibson, the video guy.
How's it going?
He's joined the show once before when Destin was out. He's a producer here at IGN and plays a heck of a lot of Destiny, so we want to get some of his insights as well.
Too much.
Off the top, as usual, be sure that you've checked out the IGN iOS app, the Android app, PS4 app, Xbox One app, wherever you are. We would really appreciate it. Again, great apps, a great way to view IGN and view the show. So check them out. All right, topics this week. We are going to talk about, they're updating melees. Interesting. You know, I think we've experienced some issues with melees, haven't we? They are also, we're going to be talking about the Iron Banner, that is, because that's this week. It ends next Tuesday. And then lastly, if we have time, we're going to be talking about just how the game's been going for us. We're 2 weeks in. So let's start with the first topic. Melee fixes are abound. There wasn't a lot in the Bungie weekly update, but this was the big focus.
This is a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, how many? Do you guys have any personal experience with whiffing melees or having melees not connect?
Yeah, let's
Yes.
start with that question. Do you guys have a problem with melee and PvP?
All the time. Like, I play a Titan, and in spite of being the class that has the lowest melee range and typically has a difficult time meleeing people, I've shoulder charged many people or hit people in the face, and it just doesn't seem to take damage off of them at all.
Yeah.
Or I'll shoot a person a few times, enough to take their shield off, and then I'll run up to them and hit them, and they take no damage at all, and then I just die. And
So
I'm
no
like,
damage.
yeah, every once in a while stuff like that'll happen, and it's super frustrating. And it's the worst when you like perfectly time a shoulder charge so that you're sprinting around a corner, you see someone, you shoulder charge right into them and hit them in the face,
hate
and then
you.
they just look at you and shoot you with a shotgun, and
Yeah.
it does no damage, and you're like,
Yep.
what is that?
Yeah.
So that
it'll
happens.
be interesting to see if it fixes that, because there is this moment with Titans where you know they're coming at you and you can see it and you're like, all right, I can get him just before it connects, because there was a lot of latency in that like shoulder attack. But for Blade Dancers, hopefully, hunters,
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I just stopped doing it because you connect with somebody on a melee in the middle of your super,
And is it
and it just doesn't connect.
Yeah, so the super is where
Straight
you
up.
face most of the issue.
Oh,
It
yeah.
doesn't connect.
Yeah.
I've had that same problem on my hunters. Like, there are times when I'll be blade dancing, and I'll, when you're blade dancing, you're trying to make the most of your effective time in your super, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
want to spend extra time making sure the dude you just hit in the face with your blade is dead. And I've had that issue where I'll run up to someone and I'll hit him, and I'll turn to run away and look for the next target, and then that same dude's shooting me, and I turn around and I'm like, I just hit you. Like,
Yeah.
why are you
Yeah.
still shooting
So
me?
I have a famously awesome story. I was playing Trials, and Arcblade was headed my way, blade dancing on top of me. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna die. And just randomly, because of this very bug, I believe, he like swiped in front of my face, and they get locked in the animation.
Yeah.
And I had my doctrine, and I was like, and like he got stuck there, and I was like, oops, like that must have really sucked. But it was just funny to see the characters there helpless to like, it didn't hit you because of whatever reason. And anyway, this is what the problem is. And so it's not always, and here's what they say about it. Here's what's going on.
Yeah, this is from the weekly update. This is an issue that they are addressing or have addressed or are working to address, right?
Yes, we'll give the exact dates, in fact. So basically what they say is, have you ever thrown a punch where, of course you've done that, and it didn't deal any damage. So what they've done is taken sandbox engineer John Cable, who's fixed some stuff in the past. He's well known to be helping out with the PvP stuff. And here's what he says that they're working on. When a melee attack seems like it connects, but it doesn't do any damage, this is usually a networking problem. Most commonly, it occurs where there's an issue communicating your position to other machines in the game, or if your would-be victim is having the similar problem. So John says he's tweaked some of the network logic related to player positions during melee attacks, which should help address these issues. The error can still occur because the internet isn't perfect, so they got that caveat in there, but they say that it should be better. So he goes on, when a melee attack whiffs, he's basically fixed this bug where what they say gets a little complex here, but starting the target search from an incorrect position. Like, apparently that's what's going on. They say, normally we begin searching for targets from the perspective of the attacker's head. The bug would result in the target search falling short, very much like I think that Blade Dancer example I gave. And so if the melee lunge didn't get you close enough, or if the target was moving away, your melee just wouldn't connect. So the new fix should specifically, they say, make Arcblade and shoulder charge more reliable. And there will still be situations where, if the target's moving away from you, will not connect still. So, it's not going to make it perfect.
That's the asterisk.
It's a caveat still.
Yeah,
because
I know, and so it's interesting to see how this will actually play out, because everybody, when you hear that Blade Dancer sound, nobody's
totally.
gonna stand there looking, going, "Hey, let me confront this Blade Dancer like straight up." So you run, and so it's interesting to see how many times you're flying in the air when somebody's running away, and so will that actually like fix it or do anything differently?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the question.
But I would say reasonably, the way that Blade Dancer works, I mean, it is like it's a fast strike through. So if a target is moving in the right way, I mean, I think you should be allowed to get away from it. I mean,
but there's times where it makes direct impact contact. You hear the sound, you're right in front of the guy, and
your controller vibrates.
Your controller vibrates. You know you've hit something, and you just kind of see them go, whoop, and then doctrine of passing in the head.
Well, we'll see. I mean, that's the piece they say they're fixing. So.
Yeah, and I can totally understand how that is because, like, in games like Destiny or any of the really fast first-person shooters where it's competitive and, like, very timely, if there's any sort of amount of, like, latency, even that affects it. And to add in this idea that there's been this tracking bug where they're basing how far you can swing on your character's position, right?
Yeah.
But if your position is moving away and there's a little bit of latency and theirs is moving away and there's a little bit of latency, all of a sudden that is like kind of a gap that makes up for about a foot or two, and you can miss or whiff a melee. And on the machine side of things, on the server side of things, it doesn't even register. I can see why that is.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's reasonable that it's happening, but it sucks either way. And so,
totally.
Hey, they're making an effort to fix it. It's one of those things like anything. You got to play it to judge it. We will know more when. So here's what they say. The next update, which is May 3rd, update 2.2.02, I believe, which is at 10 a.m. Pacific on May 3rd. It's really just minor bug fixes. They're tweaking some stuff. They want to see what that does to the environment. Like always, they're cautious not to like change too much at once. They didn't really have too many details on that. In terms of what it's going to be. So it's not until May 10th that these melee fixes will happen. So we actually still have about a week and a half or whatever it is until we're going to be able to test this out. Again, that goes live at 10 a.m. May 10th Pacific time in terms of these melee fixes.
And honestly, like, it is an issue that players have had. I'm sure if you've played Destiny a lot or Crucible a lot specifically, you've ran into this issue once or twice, but it's not as if it's like a rampant issue where it's happening all the time. Most of my melees land, and it just becomes frustrating when it's during a super or something, or it's a key part of the match that you really want to be getting these kills, and it happens. That's all.
Well, that's the worst part on the Blade Dancer side. Like, you have to build all that up and spend the currency to do it, and when you miss, oh man, that just hurts. There's no recourse for quite some time in the match anyway. So it'll be nice to see that they're fixing that stuff. Good to see they're always trying to fix it. I can say on the Warlock side, I've had mostly only the issues where you double Warlock someone and you both hit each other, and it's like sometimes you die first and there can be issues there, but like you threw the punch first.
Imagine.
And so anyway, there's like latency with that, and you've talked about other stuff, right, where you thought that you hit them and like nothing happened, and that does happen a little bit on the Warlock side. I don't know how much this is going to affect it. It seems like that was the least of the issues because
it's not quite the Hunter struggle.
I know. I was going to say the reach of Warlock, and they buffed Titans a bit, right? Wasn't it? But it still seems to be it's just a little.
Yeah, they buffed the range on the melee a little bit. It's not even noticeable.
Yeah. But the point is, Warlocks are in pretty good shape when it comes to punching.
You're okay.
So. Exactly.
It's the lunge distance. I mean, that's the thing too, right? That point of connection where you think you're going to lunge and you don't. I mean, as a Titan, it's super frustrating. As a Hunter, when you're in a super with your Blade Dancer, it's frustrating. So hopefully it addresses those things. So
I just hate the shoulder charge. I don't think you should be able to run at someone, even with their little like things that happen in terms of timing you out with that move. It's way too powerful. I'm sorry.
It's not.
I
shoulder charge is not
constantly. It is if
you're
not
a Warlock. You're the only class in the game who can survive a shoulder charge
with a flame shield.
Oh, you don't use the flame shield?
No, I do.
Use the flame shield.
But
it's the most OP thing in the game.
No, they changed it a bit. Anyway, without going too far down the path, I'm just saying I think shoulder charge needs to be looked at. I constantly, beginning of every match that there's Titans
I don't even run shoulder charge.
Okay. But a ton of people do, and they just run at you.
No, but that's the thing is, like, those guys are noobs because you know it's coming. Like, you can...
Yeah.
They light up. Like, we light up when we're about to shoulder charge someone. So just pull out that shotgun.
I don't have a shotgun.
There it is.
What?
There
see, like, that's your fault then.
This is what I'm talking about. I have to run shotgun because you're going to run at me in melee. I mean, like, the melee is way too powerful.
Okay, well, what are you using? A sniper? Or a
it depends. I like fusion snipers. I run shotgun sometimes. I'm just saying it shouldn't, like... I shouldn't have to like have a bunch of Titans running.
You're just saying the cooldown of
shotgun.
it maybe should be adjusted because it does happen really quickly. You're able to use it.
I just think it shouldn't be that powerful to take you out in one hit. I mean, that's just a lot.
No, definitely. That's
To be
why it's
fair-
called a striker titan.
I mean, to be fair, right?
They can't
let's-
punch, so I mean, that's
Maybe
Exactly.
the comparison would be this, right? With a warlock, you can stick someone with a grenade and they're toast.
You can do that
That's-
with a hunter too.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And so you have that's right with the trip mine. You have that ability to one-shot someone. I just feel like the way it works was like running at someone. It is less skill-based. And now I don't run Titans, full disclosure. It seems less skill-based because of the amount of times that it happens to me compared to everything else.
So-
to unicorn someone with the freaking trip mine, to stick them with the grenade, unless you're right here. Right here, I was off mic. It's a lot. It's harder. I'm just saying I think it's harder. Is that fair or no?
No. So
Really?
here's the thing: is like I'll tell you, I main a Titan, and
Yeah.
shoulder charge is a lot harder to land than people think. It's still easy
Doesn't
to just
seem like
run
it.
at someone, but like you can only charge in a straight line.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: is like if you even just sidle up a little bit, or like you see someone sprinting and you just move to the side, like they're gonna clip you and miss.
Right. So
Like,
that's what's interesting, and maybe this is the issue: is as a warlock, not blinking, it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
There's no easy. You're literally like, you're like trying to get like your water pack boosting you out of the way.
Here's the other thing.
and it's just
Jump.
You know, it's too slow in most conditions. If you already see, by the time you see them cruising at you, unless you can just primary them out, that's the issue. Is if they get through it, you're toast. You know,
Oh, yeah.
especially if they have other things.
That's the thing is like
boosting it.
it's supposed to be like a deadly technique in a certain range.
Yeah.
And it is for the most part. This is the thing that I've been doing recently though is like in trials or the more highly competitive modes, you're never going to make it that close to another guardian.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's why like I ran Striker Titan shoulder charge a lot and I
Yeah.
found myself dying all the
It
time.
does not help you in trials.
Yeah,
You would
and
never
so
do that. That's
instead
dumb.
I switched it out. Now I run max armor Titan, which is good because now I don't get one shot by grenades,
Yeah.
and same I don't get one shot by shoulder
Yeah.
charges.
Well, look,
Yeah.
I'm just jealous. But
That's what it
it's
is.
most 6v6. I feel like it's something to look at. But you guys out there, let us know. What do you think of the shoulder charge? I'm very curious. I have a feeling, yeah, if you run it, you like it. It doesn't seem that bad. But if you don't run it, like me, you're just angry because you don't have it. So let's move on to the second topic. But thank you guys for discussing that. Okay, next topic. Iron Banner has been out. It's back. It's new for the April update. They made some changes to it. As a reminder, rank 0 drops purples, legendaries. You know, you're getting good drops now. You still get packages at 3 and 5, right? But drops, great. I already got. They're selling Hacken's Hatchet, right, with an awesome roll. By the way, awesome rolls this week. It's like perfect balance,
on
counterbalance.
both of the vendor rolls
Yeah,
are really good.
rangefinder on Hacken's Hatchet, I believe, and then they're selling Tormod's Bellows with 3 in the tube and grenades and horseshoes, or horseshoes and grenades. I always mix that up. It's grenades and horseshoes.
The first one.
Man, those are 2 awesome rolls, and I don't know if
good.
that's like intentional. I assume it is.
I
Right?
hope it is, right? Because here's the thing: is I've gotten a bunch of, not a bunch. Let's call it 2 Tormod's Bellows and 2, maybe 3 Hacken's Hatchets. I thought it was Hakon's, whatever.
I don't know how to say anything in this game.
It's
Mida,
Hakon
Mida.
and Diablo 3,
Yeah.
but whatever. That auto rifle and that rocket launcher, and none of the rolls have been that good so far, and so I've just been like using them to infuse my other gear until I get to rank 5, at which point I can buy both of the other ones because those are the nicest rolls anyway.
Yeah. The point is get to rank 5. If you don't have those weapons, you want to buy these. So get a plan in place to get marks. Play trials if you must.
Plus
You don't
that auto
normally-
rifle,
play
like a
trials.
lot of people are using it. Like it's
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
That's good.
I've always liked Hakon's or Hacken's Hatchet or whatever.
The
Sounds better
hatchet.
that way.
The hatchet.
Hacking at you with the hatchet, right? I've liked it a lot because I got crowd control and something else on mine, which it was during the week of Rift and everybody was in a crowd. And it was just like destroying. And I had Doctrine at the time too, but just with the range perks and stuff. So it's really good. It's
yeah,
a great
It is
auto.
very good. Like
pick
I
it up.
think it's weird because now I've been seeing, and I don't know if it's just because of Iron Banner or just the composition of players out there who are using weapons and experimenting with weapons, but I've seen everything from Hakon's Hatchet to Suros to Doctrine. I've seen Midas out there. I've seen Hawk Moons. I've
Yeah.
seen Last Words. Like,
Right.
it's crazy.
Yes, because they
good.
rebalance the weapons. I'm
good.
only laughing, Shook, because you mentioned last word. Like you did it with a smile.
Oh, it's annoying, dude.
But
like,
there's some
It hurts.
irony here, which is if we can take a moment to really dig into that topic. They nerfed Last Word, so you hate it. But they've changed a lot of things, and you see players are now using Hawkmoon again. They're using other
Yeah.
stuff. Don't you, that's kind of nice.
it's cool to see variation out there, but I think that like anytime there's a sort of like change to the sandbox or the weapon sandbox specifically, or weapon tuning, whatever you want to call it, like there's that period of time when you're trying to experiment and figure out what's best, but you always come to a point where you figure out what's best and then everyone's just using that.
Yep.
So like I think you'll
back.
yeah, plans. Like I think
Fusions,
I think you'll start to see that like the wider range of guns start to fall by the wayside as people figure out what works best.
Yeah. It's too new. I haven't really heard of anything being super OP right now though, which is interesting since the updates. Like normally it's like immediately Thorn was like a problem and then like 1,000-yard stare, which is still I guess to be fair, it's still very OP.
It's good.
It's not OP though.
But it's not OP. It's just
it's strong.
Meaning it was the best option for a sniper for the most part because you could res snipe. Not a high rate of fire, but they brought out now longbow and LDR back if you can get the roll. So I think maybe that's the difference is I'm now not just seeing 1,000 yards for every snipe.
See, here's the thing is like every sniper is going to one-shot someone in the face. Like if you hit them in the head. So it doesn't make it OP. Like it has good perks.
Within the game mode. I mean, Trials is a different thing if you're talking about snipers and Trials.
Yes, I'm talking about snipers and Trials predominantly. But no, like literally just mean it's such a high impact. What I meant by that, right? If you have any damage on you, you can body. You get bodied by 1,000 yard, even just a little bit.
Sure.
Right, that's the difference. Because like if you have Way Lawrence and I only have a smidge off you on primary hits that I've dealt, it's not going to finish the job. But
if you want that and you have hidden hand on yours like I do on mine, like it really does want that headshot.
It does, Like, of course it does.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not like it's actually OP. I just mean it's overused. So it's nice to see the changes. Let's actually spend a second on snipers before we get back to discussing a few more things about Iron Banner. Zen Meteor is awesome if you're on PlayStation.
Wouldn't know.
Yep. Sorry, folks. Awesome.
Don't got it yet.
It's okay. I trade platform exclusives for a higher level of competition.
Oh,
wow.
There it is.
Leave all your comments to at Shop by Finnegan on Twitter and here in the comments below.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It's not.
It's all right, PlayStation 4 guys. We know the truth.
This is a topic for later, and we should have CJ back because huge Halo players and Call of Duty, right? I don't know if you played a lot of Call of Duty, but come
not
from
since
the world
Modern Warfare 2, but
world of Xbox. You're implying that all the Xbox players are better.
Not all, obviously. But I'm just saying, like, it's like you have great players who come to play in the NBA who are not American, right? But overall, the American League has a higher competition level. It's the same on Xbox.
I will say this as an Xbox guy for a long time. The tides have been shifting the last few years. So, I mean, lots of Halo 2, Halo 3, all the Halo games, lots of Call of Duty, and all on Xbox 360.
Well, let's see.
Moved to PS4 for Destiny and Call of Duty and a bunch of other ones. So,
let's see. Luminosity plays on PlayStation 4. So there's that. Crafty, though. Crafty is on both kind of, right?
No,
or is Crafty all PS4?
All I'm saying is like if I would, and I don't have any statistics to back this up, but if you took the top 200 players on Destiny on PS4 and matched them up with their respective teams against their counterparts, the top 200 on Xbox, I'm pretty sure the Xbox guys would roll them.
This is a good challenge. You need to
I would like to talk to Luminosity and friends about this. We actually
the level of play is just higher on Xbox. It has that DNA built into it of first-person shooters.
All right. I knew that was going to be interesting. Now you've pissed off half of the people listening, which is exactly
what
I
I'm not saying just because you play on PS4 that makes you bad. I'm just saying you're playing against a bunch of noobs most of the time.
Oh, no. Terrible. Yeah. Anyways, okay.
I would PlayStation 4, don't underestimate. I know you don't play a ton, but it has changed because so many people have shifted over.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I agree there's a certain level of
I would have agreed with you like up to about a year ago, 100%. And a lot of the games previous to, 2014, that was very much the case.
Okay.
But
So,
exception for Destiny.
Cool topic. Let's get back to snipers just really fast. I'm really happy with the sniper changes. CJ was upset with them apparently. What they did, right? Like the snapshot and just how quickly you look down sights and the zoom range, like they've definitely been nerfed. I feel like I'm not getting sniped quite as much, but I'm still getting sniped, so I don't notice it. And I like using sniper still, but I was never amazing. Maybe starting with CJ, you're really angry.
A little bit, yeah.
Right?
I mean, and what Sean said, like whenever you adjust stuff to the sandbox where it affects the way the game feels, it's one thing to take damage and adjust it, but when you like tweak how a sniper zooms in and the way it moves a little bit, that's a huge mental, psychological change and
muscle memory.
Yeah. So Defiance of Yasmin, don't like it. It's just that
you loved it before.
I loved it. It's that half second that there's a couple frames of when it zooms in, and it's just like, I can't get in quite as fast. And you notice that No, you notice that on a bunch of snipers. Was that ever a problem though? It's like no.
But yes, it was.
No,
I got
it
sniped
wasn't.
so much by
I
Yasmin
know,
and high
but-
aim assist snipers.
I know.
And like, I'm not an awesome sniper. And again, sure, I'm jealous. But if you're a good sniper, and maybe that's the point here, like you have to readjust how it's done, and it's annoying. But I'm still getting sniped a ton, and I'm actually sniping a ton with Zen Meteors being great.
I just don't think it was something that, I don't know, were people complaining about how OP snipers were? I don't think they were before they. It just seemed like why fix it if it wasn't broken, you know?
Within context of the damage and trials in certain game types with res sniping and stuff like that.
Well, see, but that's something that I was just about to get to that because they made res sniping even worse.
In a way, yeah.
I get res sniped more now than I did before.
Feels about the same to me.
Because now there's more snipers that can do it.
I actually feel like I'm getting away more by ducking. Like I always would try that.
Oh, I spam B.
Yeah, I spam.
Which is my duck button.
Ducking below.
And I'm always asking my teammates for a push. You know, we have highly
totally.
coordinated res push people
You
spamming the duck and stuff.
Have to.
Yeah. I died not 12 times. I died 8 times in one trials round just to res sniping, and I was furious.
He's like, sit down,
Like,
get
bag.
good.
Yeah.
Please.
Like, it's just ridiculous. And I was like, thanks, Bong guy, you made it.
You should thank your teammate for continually resonating.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
us.
We're trying.
Don't
They were
res me.
trying, man.
Stop it.
But it's a last resort. Anyway, I'm happy with the sniper stuff overall.
Lukewarm for now.
Longbow's great.
We'll see.
Low magazine, by the way. You've heard a lot about longbow, probably. Awesome. I actually got it with short gaze and something else really good that I'm blanking on right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Also affecting,
not hidden hand.
Also affecting the sniper's change is just the amount of special that you're picking up out of boxes and acquiring from ammo crates. Like, I don't know.
Firefly.
I always feel like I don't have enough special. How do you guys feel about that?
Oh, well, when I use the wrong thing. When I use the wrong weapon. So, like, I have Rescue Mag in my Ash Raven's Flight, the Fusion, which is awesome. I know, I always bring it back.
Loves it.
The Rescue Mag. I love. You get damage, it really is helpful now, by the way. If you get Rescue Mag, look for it on the right type, like shotties. And, well, I don't think it drops on snipers. I've never seen it. But it's great. But yeah, like when I run around with longbow, it's a disaster. When you get special ammo, you only get like 3.
Yeah, you pick up 3 bullets from each thing.
Unless you're wearing additional ammo stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But it's good. I mean, from a standpoint of what they did to change trials of like not starting with any ammo and then having some game types where you did start with ammo, I think this is kind of a nice balance.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, yes, special is still special.
Yeah.
I mean, again, as a Plan C fusion rifle diehard guy, I'm always looking for more ammo, but it makes you, look for the vests and the perks and all that stuff to, those extra couple bullets that you do get, with a vest or a chest piece and legs is beneficial now. So you've got to pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm pretty happy overall. So sorry I took us off of the topic, which was Iron Banner. One quick note, they actually, if you didn't hear about this, they had a little reset, oopsie, at 10 a.m. You were still ranked 5 if you were from the last time, and so you could just go in and buy the stuff from the vendor, and they had to quickly go in. And so some people, though, that wasn't an issue. They got their rep reset after about a half hour later. Bungie apologizes for that, but obviously had to fix and make sure that everybody was on the same playing field.
Which I was playing at 10 a.m.
That's right.
Yeah, I saw a couple of people tweeting at me and Destin, probably even you, that were just like, hey, are you guys still ranked 5? I was like, I haven't logged in yet, but that sounds like a bug.
Yeah. Good for you guys. But anyway, overall Iron Banner, final thoughts. I mean, it's the same Iron Banner with all these new weapon changes, and it was Clash, or is Clash, I should say. Like, I dig it. The drops are great. I've gotten, like, 2 Hackens hatches. I'm seeing I need boots to drop at 335, by the way. I'm seeing everybody get high-level stuff. It's awesome. Like, the reward for playing, it seems really high. I hope it stays that way, because I'm just happy to play.
I am, too. I was just going to say, though, I don't like Clash.
I know. Yeah. We talked about that last
week. No, but I mean, like, it's funny because last week I said I liked Clash, but now that I'm realizing in Iron Banner where people are, like, basically, that's the try-hard mode. People run with 6 players. They work together, and, man, it is... Clash is annoying, dude. Like...
Well, it's
annoying.
Yeah, it's a different game. There's no central location heat map, so it does change the dynamics of a lot of maps, and especially when you're playing.
And that is what makes it hard.
And that's the reason is like when you're working. I usually work in pairs with my teams. Like we'll have it's 6 of us and we're all working together. But usually we go with the buddy system, right? And we'll be attacking or holding down a location, and then people will just spawn behind us, or they will have ran around the whole other side of the map and ended up behind us. And it's just like that doesn't happen in Control because you're all drawn to 3 different points on the map, and it's just like. I don't know. It's a little it's a little bit more random when
Yeah.
you're just aiming to kill people as opposed to controlling points.
I get your point. Like when teams are very organized like that, you have two walls of people like running at each other, team shotting each other, and you can't like say grab C and A and get them split up. Control gives you that. It forces them to like split up, and you don't quite have that option. But I don't run into that as much. So meaning I don't mind it as much. Clash is fun. I like running around and not having to go to control points, but I agree control is still the best mode for Iron Banner. So
the algorithm within the drop seems to be really awesome as well.
Yeah.
Like I've barely got anything that I have duplicates of. There's a bunch of times where I'm like cashing stuff in now. If it's a purple engram or, exotic, it's something different.
you mean from Banner?
Yeah, it just in general, there's a bunch of different things dropping at just incrementally higher light. So
Than you've ever gotten before.
yeah, which is nice.
Coincidence then.
Maybe.
Because I've already gotten 2 hack and hatchets, and the main things I've gotten are 2 more hack and hatchets.
Oh, okay.
So the theory doesn't hold up with me.
Okay, well,
But I know I get
in
it.
general though, I'm saying
drops are
overall
better.
the drops seem to be positive versus getting the same thing every time. For me personally,
I'm just
I've had
adding
a
the
bunch of different
caveat.
things.
I got different roles.
Yeah.
So maybe that's that. But it was the same
Combination.
weapon. So I don't know that is actually a factor in it, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But it could be either, honestly. And, that's RNG for you. All right, let's move on. Spend a very short amount of time on our last topic before we end today's show. We're 2.5 weeks in, roughly, since the April update. We had a lot of theories, a lot of thoughts. We talked a little bit about it last week, but we've got Banner, we've got some of our chroma, we've played Prison of Elders and Challenge of Elders. What do you guys think so far? What's the road? What have you enjoyed is the question, actually. I'm mostly focused on that. Has it delivered? What's the good stuff? Have you got good drops you are super happy with? And then the road ahead. Are you chasing something? What are you excited for with the April update?
So I think the biggest thing for me has been the infusion mechanic. It just feels like now I can guarantee myself a path to where I need to go. And I've been seeing my light level increase just like every little bit every time I do something, which is great. I like Challenge of Elders. I like the little scoring system. It feels a little arcadey. It's on the easy side, but it's just kind of nice to zone out and know that you can do cool stuff like that. What else have I liked? I like the Desolate gear, and I like the Spectar gear, and I just like Chroma. It's like new customization, which is
You like
like
the
half
look.
of what Destiny is like making sure you look really, really cool. That's basically what I like. Oh, weapons.
Weapons?
Yeah, like I like that kind of auto rifles are back. Like they're not like
super
scout
back.
rifle level, but like there are good ones out there that you can use, and I like that weapon type a lot just because I was a year 1 Destiny guy, like in the Suros era.
Yeah.
And I long for the return of something like that.
And you missed Hawkmoon, so
And I
Totally.
missed Hawkmoon.
On Xbox.
And I'll miss Zen Meteor. Yeah, it's just it's
Okay.
dumb. But yeah, I mean, so I think those, like, I'm chasing a really, really good auto rifle right now. Like, I have a few, like, decent ones, but I'm looking for that Doctrine of Passing.
Oh, yeah.
Looking to hit rank 5 so I can get that Hakon's Hatchet with the good roll.
the Lighthouse run.
Yeah, and more importantly, I'm looking for that return to Last Word.
Well, that's no.
Give the buff back.
I just
to
want
it.
to know. Turn the knife in there one more time. But like, this is just about the April update. So CJ, same question. Yeah, I mean, we've already kind of talked about how we like the infusion system. We like that. It was more about like gear drops and like just what you've experienced and got out of it. Like, do you feel good? And what have you gotten? And what are you chasing?
Yeah, I mean, so again, with the whole algorithm thing, I just got Jade Rabbit. I mean,
first time.
For first time, which is weird of all the hours I've played.
Long-time fan, first-time user.
Yeah,
I still don't have a
so
truth.
you don't.
What?
Yeah, and it's,
Whoa.
That's crazy. I mean,
is
so
crazy.
truth I've only gotten once, and I've kept it. It's a rocket launcher that I love, so that's going to 335.
The best
It's
rocket
the
launcher
best
for
rocket
PvP.
launcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, I mean, as a big hand cannon, fusion rifle guy, I have my IS Luna. That's my, I call it poor man's Hawkmoon.
Yeah.
But with luck in the chamber, rifle barrel, the range on it is absurd.
But wait, did
And-
it get better? Because you've already had it.
Well, yeah, I feel like it's even Hawkmoon. Like some of those just feel like they got a little buff to range.
Okay.
So in
Yeah, 'cause
general,
April update is what I'm focused on.
Yes.
So it feels even better.
Feels
you
better.
already bragged
Yeah,
about it. That's
I
why I
love it.
interrupted. I
Yeah.
was like, wait,
Yeah,
it's even better?
And Plan C and all those fusion rifles with stability issues.
Yeah.
Thiessen, my favorite, but I've been returning to Plan C. It's the hip fire. It's just the way it feels and moves. So all the things that they kind of nerfed for the beginning of 2, they kind of unnerved and buffed back into this update. And so, yeah, super happy. I'll
Cool.
adjust to the snipers, but happy
Nice.
overall.
So for me, I'm really happy overall that, these balances just feel better. But in terms of additional weapons and stuff that they've put in, I actually got back Leth Noblesse or whatever, which is like a weapon from the Queen or whatever. But it's actually really close to Tlaloc, the exclusive Warlock Scout, the exotic, which is awesome. So it's actually a really good change out. It hits like a truck. It's slow rate of fire, but it's really nice. And if you get the right roll, I would actually hang on to that one and check it out. But I'm finding myself using it as an alternative because I really like Tlaloc. Likewise, just fusions being back. I already liked them, but Ash Raven's Flight, which I always mention on the show, I'm having a great time with, using it more. Zen Meteor, I know you can't have it. I'm not trying to rub it in, Sean. It does suck, though. But totally awesome addition, a new weapon that I like using. And so that's the point. I'm like using way more weapons because of all these balances, and I'm enjoying using them. Like I just got Lord of Wolves. I'm going to be using that and so on. Like where before, I pretty much had like 2 loadouts. Didn't change much. So I'm just happy to see new weapons. So I'm chasing... Probably I would like a better drop on my longbow, but I did get it with, Firefly and Short Gaze, which is a really nice drop. But yeah, I've always wanted Shadow Price. I never had Shadow Price. And so I do feel that like urge to play, urge to chase. I want the Desolate Sword. I haven't grabbed it yet. As easy it is to get, actually. So
that's just doing the mission, right?
Yeah.
The story mission?
Yeah, I've been like, I'll get to it later. Because I'm having so
either.
much fun. Like I hop in prison with my friends all the time. So the point is, like actually we're 2.5 weeks in. I still stand by about a month through it or whatever. Like I think that's probably good. We'll have to check in then. Like, is there more to give? That's going to be really close to E3, by the way, where we should see some new announcements. So maybe very well timed with that. As this fizzles a little, they'll talk about that. They'll talk about when SRL comes back. Maybe I'm just speculating.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
But we shall see. So I'm still having fun is the point, despite the fact that I kind of complained like, it's just prison over and over and it's a few bosses. But there's enough to chase, enough to do that I'm having fun with.
And even the bounties and the way those are updated, there's just a bunch of little things like that are tweaks, and you're like, okay, the bounty system and just certain, they're different again, which is nice. They're not the same bounties week to week. So
cool.
That's kind of stuff's nice.
Well, that is all the time that we have for today's show. A couple final announcements to make. If you didn't catch it, last week we launched the Fireteam Chat channel on YouTube. So if you surf on YouTube, be sure to check it out over there, a place for all of us to hang out. We're in there. We're also doing some additional clips now with Fireteam Chat as part of the show, whether it's a quick Let's Play or a gameplay clip, and we'll be adding to that. So check it out and let us know what you think. And again, as always, check out the apps. Leave us reviews if you're on, podcast and so on. And thank you guys and girls and everyone out there so much for following us all this time. It's hard to believe it's episode 68. We're almost through year 2. I mean, it's a year and a half, but we've come a long way, and it's great to have this community. And Destin, thank you for being on vacation. I'm having a great time hosting, but please enjoy yourself.
And I get a spot.
And CJ gets a
Thanks,
spot.
buddy.
This guy's always wanted to be on the show, so he really appreciates it. So, Sean, where can they find you out there if they want to reach you?
Follow me on Xbox Live and on Twitter at ShotByFinnegan. I'm always looking for people to play Crucible with and Halo with, so if you want to add me up, send me a message. Let's play.
Cool. CJ?
At Gibson Films on Twitter, and I'm on the lowly PlayStation 4 console at The Video Guy with underscores in between.
That's right. And I'm FM3 on Xbox One and PlayStation. You can follow me there. I'm at Fran Mirabella on most platforms, and I occasionally stream as well at /FM3_ on Twitch, because you can't have three. You can't have 3 characters in that name. So, as we always say, until next time, Guardians out.